Hello everyone, this is Rick. It is May 1st, 2017. You can reach me at rick0327 at me.com. Alright, this is an introduction to my lawsuit that I filed. I'm going to break this down and show you guys what I did, and I'm going to show you how I got screwed and show you that even when you do the right thing, it doesn't work out all the time. But I'm just showing you guys what we're dealing with, the monster that we're dealing with, but we can't give up. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this out to show everybody, and this is out in the public forum now. Okay, so remember I told you guys about the common law, and this is a part one video. I'm doing them really quick. I might do 5 minutes today. That's it, just to break the ice. I broke the ice yesterday, or 2 days ago, with the order to show cause. But what I'm doing here is I'm showing you the actual lawsuit itself, the papers that I submitted. Okay, and I told you guys I had to do this stuff here. All right, the people in the courts, they won't accept my paperwork unless I put it in like this. So I couldn't. I got away with this part here. Richard Wellman Jr., man aggrieved, all of this stuff, but they wouldn't let me submit the papers unless I put this stuff in. Okay, and jury trial demanded. You don't want a jury trial. You want a trial by jury. And I was asking for Federal Rule 60B from the outset, relief from void order, and I was met with nothing but silence. And when they finally did get to finally enter my paperwork in November, I didn't get any responses. By the way, this was filed, as you see here, July 23rd, 2015. I didn't get a response from the judge until November 2nd. Well, actually, I got a response October 9th from another judge. So the first response from a judge was not from my judge. It was from the other judge that conspired with her to interfere with my rights. Okay, and I got those two for interfering with my rights, because those two judges conspired to block me from getting access to the courts. I never actually stood inside a courtroom. Never. And it's funny, one time I did go there, and I walked into this woman, Margot K. Brody. She was appointed by Obama. Her history is she was born in the Caribbean, on the island of St. John's, and I think she was like the first Caribbean, judge, appointed to the federal courts, federal bench. And I went in there. I swear to God, I don't know if they know who I was, but I'm in there. As soon as I walk in and I sit down, she goes, "Excuse me, sir, why are you here?" And I go, "I'm here to watch the kid, to view the case." And she goes, "No, you can't." And then a marshal escorted me out, and I didn't want to make a scene. And then when I left, I said, "I thought the courts were open to the public." And it was a Muslim man case, so I'm not sure if it was closed to the public, but they're not supposed to be closed to the public. If it's in an open courtroom, it's not supposed to be. So I'm pretty sure she knew who I was, because she watched me when I walked in. And the court officer, or the marshal, they call him in federal court, was like, "No, as far as I know, it's open to the public." So I left it alone. Anyway, so the first response was from the woman, Dora Irizarry. So that was the first response. So she's conspiring with Brody to stop me from going to the court. So think about it. I submitted the order to show cause. So rather than Brody address it, she hands it off to another judge, and then that judge just dismisses it for no reason. Okay, jurisdiction, United States Constitution, Bill of Rights, address and stuff. I'm not gonna let me go through that. I don't want anybody to see that. A man, Richard Wellman Jr., is caused harm and suffering by a woman, and wrongdoer, Sudeep Kaur. You don't see me mentioning that she's a support magistrate. Okay, I'm going to do that slowly so you guys can read it. Okay, right from the beginning, these are the dates that she issued the bullshit court judgment, the fake court orders. June 15, 2012, March 22nd, 2000. And what she did, she kept changing them. What they're doing is they keep correcting their mistakes by creating forged documents made to resemble a court order see Exhibit A, and by creating the aforementioned forgeries and sending the forgeries to a third-party debt collector named New York Child Support Enforcement Office, New York Office of Child, the abbreviation, thereafter has, OCSE, thereafter has caused the theft of $36.75 a month. Now, what happened here, the reason why I did this was because, I got all hyped up listening to these common law videos and stuff, and I was really trying to get this void order vacated. I couldn't get it done. They were just ignoring me in the courts. And at that point, I gave up. I was no longer filing papers in family court. And it was right after I filed this that I discovered the Ahmed Osiris videos. And that's when he gave me the, well, good luck with that, with the common law stuff. But my goal was to get the judgment voided because I couldn't get the family court. And the federal courts, the family court, or, all the courts in your area, they're called inferior courts. And in inferior courts, if the jurisdiction is challenged, they must tell you what the jurisdiction is. They're supposed to anyway. On paper, they must. Everything on paper they must do, but they don't do it in the real world. So I tried here, and they wouldn't do it. They did everything they could. And actually, they did. They blocked it. But, I have something for them now because I'm going to sue them. I'm going to bring damages against them. Okay? And I went into the whole diatribe of the wrongdoer, Sudeep Kaur, insisted on being called judge or your honor. That's part of the, by the way, that's part of the scam to make you think you're in a court. Judge, your honor. And when I asked Sudeep if she was a judge on November 13th, she replied no, and did impersonate a judicial official by performing judicial duties of creating a court document without a judicial signature. Well, we do know now that family court is not a court, but it's part of the scheme. It looks just like a court order, and it was used to alter my stipulation of settlement agreement. Okay, while employed as a non-judicial employee, the harm and suffering of a man. Now you're gonna hear what happened to me. Richard Wan was the foreclosure of my home. The theft of $36.75 from my pension. Then I go into the family court judge, who I never met, and I filed objections to her, and this piece of shit dismissed my objection because the affidavit of service was, I used the wrong address of the lawyer, and the lawyer had 3 different addresses because he's a scam artist. He had it on 41st Avenue, 41st Road, and 41st Street on his on one of the websites because he's a scam artist. He doesn't want the paperwork to show up to him, So he's a real grimy guy, my ex-wife's attorney. Real grimy. And he's a real piece of shit. Real piece of shit. And then on it went. So I'm going to end the video right now. I just want to show you guys. Look, I went into the duties of Canon 3. A judge should perform the duties of the office fairly, impartially, and diligently. Every state has this. Okay? This is the judicial code of conduct in the federal courts, in all courts. And they're all bound by it. The hard part is to get them to do it. All right, listen, I'm gonna close this video down, and I'm gonna come back to you guys tomorrow. Just wanted to give you a brief introduction. Hopefully that some of you see this. I'm gonna lure you in to see how you can introduce your own paperwork. It's not that hard. I did this all by myself. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye.